It's December, and you're probably thinking it's too late to plant anything, right? Wrong. If you're in Zone 9, December is actually the perfect time to start planting a bunch of cold, hardy crops that thrive in cooler weather. Why know which ones? Keep watching because you don't want to miss these amazing plants. Gardening in Zone 9 can feel like a gift, mild winters and long growing seasons. But what do you do in December when other regions are already winding down? You keep planting. In fact, December is an incredible month to plant crops that thrive in cooler temperatures and can even handle light frost. Whether you're looking to grow some fresh greens, root vegetables, or hardy herbs, there's a lot you can do to keep your garden productive all winter long. Let's break down exactly what you should be planting this month to make the most out of your Zone 9 garden. We'll cover everything from leafy greens to root veggies and even some herbs to help you make the most of the cooler season. 1. Garlic. One of the first crops to consider planting in December is garlic. Garlic thrives in cooler weather, and the winter chill encourages the cloves to establish strong roots. It's actually one of the few crops that benefits from a cold period to kick off its growth. Start by breaking apart garlic bulbs into individual cloves, ensuring the pointy end is facing upward.
Plant each clove about 2 inches deep and space them at least 6 inches apart to give them room to grow.
Garlic can handle the cold, so don't worry about the frost. Just make sure the soil is well draining to avoid any rot during the wet months. You'll need to keep the garlic bed weed-free and consistently water it, especially when the soil dries out. By the time spring rolls around, your garlic will have taken root, and you'll be able to harvest a beautiful crop of bulbs. Mulch your garlic with straw or leaves to protect the cloves over winter, especially if temperatures dip below freezing. 2. Onions. If you're a fan of homegrown onions, December is the ideal time to plant them in Zone 9. Onions prefer the cool temperatures, and in Zone 9, they'll have just enough chill to get off to a strong start. You can either start with onion sets, small bulbs, or sow onion seeds directly. If you go the seed route, you might want to start them indoors and transplant them once they're big enough. For sets, plant them about 1 inch deep with the pointed end facing up.
Space them about 4 to 6 inches apart to give them plenty of room to grow.
Onions need a lot of sunlight to grow well, so choose a spot that gets at least 6 hours of sun each day. Keep the soil moist but not soggy and mulch around the plants to retain moisture during dry spells. You can expect to harvest your onions by late spring or early summer. Add organic matter to your soil, like compost or well-rotted manure, to give onions the nutrients they need to grow strong. 3. Kale. Kale is the superhero of the winter garden, and December is the perfect time to plant it in Zone 9. Not only is kale frost tolerant, but the cold actually improves the flavor, making it sweeter and more tender. You can direct sow kale seeds into the garden, planting them about 1 inch deep and spacing them about 12 inches apart. Kale loves sunlight, so plant it in a sunny spot, but it can also tolerate some light shade. If you want baby kale for salads, you can start harvesting within 4-6 weeks, or let the plants grow longer for larger leaves. Kale doesn't require a lot of attention, but does benefit from regular watering to keep the soil moist. If your soil is rich in nutrients, you won't need to fertilize much, but adding some compost can improve growth and flavor. If you want to extend your harvest, consider planting different varieties of kale that mature at different times. 4. Spinach. Spinach is another fantastic crop to grow in December in Zone 9. It's one of the quickest growing vegetables, so you won't have to wait long for a harvest. Spinach loves cooler temperatures and can even handle a light frost, so it's perfect for your winter garden. Plant spinach seeds about 1 inch deep and space them 1-2 inches apart. Once they begin to sprout, thin them to about 4 inches apart to allow for healthy growth. Spinach will grow quickly, and you can begin harvesting the outer leaves in just a few weeks. The more you pick, the more the plant will produce. Make sure your spinach gets at least 4 to 6 hours of sunlight per day and keep the soil consistently moist. Spinach doesn't like to dry out, but it also doesn't like to be waterlogged, so good drainage is key. If you grow spinach in a shady spot, it will tolerate the heat better when temperatures start to rise in early spring. 5. Carrots. Carrots are a great addition to your December planting list in Zone 9. These sweet, crunchy vegetables grow best in cooler temperatures, and while they take a bit of time, they'll reward you with a delicious harvest. Plant carrot seeds about inch deep and space them about 2 inches apart. Because carrots need loose, well-draining soil to grow long and straight, be sure your garden bed is free from rocks and debris. If you have heavier clay soil, mix in some sand or compost to improve drainage and root development. Water your carrots consistently, but avoid overwatering as too much moisture can cause the roots to rot. As the weather warms up, your carrots will start to mature, and you'll be able to pull them up in the spring. If you're short on space, carrots can also be grown in containers with deep soil. Just make sure they have plenty of room to grow down. 6. Beets. Beets are another winter-friendly vegetable to plant in Zone 9. Beets do well in cooler temperatures and can be harvested both for their sweet, earthy roots and their leafy greens. Plant beet seeds about inch deep, spacing them 3 inches apart. As they grow, thin the seedlings to about 6 inches apart to give the root space to develop. Beets like well-drained, fertile soil, so adding compost can help boost growth and improve the flavor. Make sure the soil stays moist, but not soggy. Beets don't like sitting in waterlogged soil, and excessive moisture can lead to root rot. As your beets grow, you can harvest the beet greens for salads or sawdust and leave the roots to mature. Beets grow well in containers, so if you're limited on space, consider growing them in pots on a balcony or patio. 7. Lettuce. Lettuce is one of the easiest and fastest growing vegetables you can plant in December. Whether you like leaf lettuce, romaine, or butterhead varieties, this leafy green loves the cool weather and grows quickly in Zone 9. Plant lettuce seeds about inch deep, spacing them around 6 inches apart. Lettuce prefers full sun, but if the sun gets too intense, it can bolt, go to seed, so partial shade can help. Lettuce is relatively low maintenance, but it does need consistent watering to keep the leaves crisp and tender. You can start harvesting baby greens in as little as 3-4 weeks, or let the plants grow to full size for large heads of lettuce. The great thing about lettuce is that if you keep picking the outer leaves, the plant will continue to grow and produce. Plant lettuce in succession to ensure a continuous harvest through the winter months. 8. Broccoli. Broccoli is an excellent winter vegetable that thrives in Zone 9, especially in December. Broccoli prefers cool weather and actually does better when the temperatures are mild. It's a perfect choice if you're looking to fill your garden with nutritious, hearty vegetables. Start by planting broccoli seeds indoors or directly sowing them into the garden. Plant the seeds about inch deep and space the seedlings about 18 inches apart. Broccoli needs plenty of sunlight, so pick a sunny spot for the best results. Broccoli grows relatively quickly, and you can harvest the main head once it's fully mature. Afterward, many varieties will produce smaller side shoots that you can continue to harvest over time. Add organic matter to your soil, such as compost, to keep your broccoli healthy and productive. 9. Peas. Peas are perfect for planting in December in Zone 9. Not only do they thrive in cool weather, but they also grow quickly and are a fun crop to watch develop. Plant peas about 1 inch deep and space them 2 inches apart. Once they start growing, you'll need to give them something to climb, like a trellis or some stakes. Keep the soil moist, but well-draining peas don't like to sit in wet soil. As the weather warms, you'll start seeing sweet pea pods ready to harvest. The great thing about peas is that they're easy to grow and can be enjoyed fresh from the vine or cooked into a variety of dishes. If you're growing peas in containers, make sure they have plenty of room for their roots to spread out. So, there you have it, 10 amazing crops you can plant in December in Zone 9 to keep your garden productive all winter long. From garlic to peas, kale to beets, there's no reason to slow down in your gardening efforts just because it's winter. With the right care and attention, your plants will thrive and you'll be reaping the rewards come spring. Don't forget to comment below with any questions you might have or share your own gardening tips for December. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more gardening advice. Happy gardening, and see you next time!